Okay, so we're going to solve a system of linear equations by graphing. So that means this right here is a line, and we can tell that also because it's written in the form of y equals mx plus b, where b is your y-intercept and m is your slope. And because the highest powers are invisible 1 for x and y, we know it's a line. Okay, so let's go ahead and graph the first one, which is this one here. And you want to first plot your y-intercept, which in this problem would be 1, because that's our b. So you go up to 1 right here, and that's going to be your starting point. Then from there, you're going to graph your slope. So that's going to be 6. I'll do it over here. So for the first one, we have m, or slope, equals 6, or as a fraction, 6 over 1. And remember, slope is rise over run. All right, so from this point here, we're going to go up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over 1. Then you connect your dots, and that's your first line. All right, so over here, so make sure you click purple right there, so you're on the purple graph. And you start at 1, go up 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then go over 1. That's your first graph. All right, the second graph, we have our y-intercept, so the b value is -3. Okay, so we go down to 3 right here. That's going to be our starting point. Our slope for the second one is 2, which is 2 over 1. All right, so you go up 2 over 1. So start at -3. Yeah, so here's negative, right? So here's -3 right there. Then you go up 2, 1, 2 over 1, connect your dots. There's your second line. Okay, over here, click the green graph, go down 3, okay, and then go up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. There's a second graph. Okay, and your answer is where the two lines intersect. That's the solution to the equation. It says solve the system equations by graphing, then type the solution. So the solution is this coordinate. And remember, it's going to be x comma y. So this coordinate is -1 comma -5. So go down right here and go -1 comma -5, and that's it. Okay, so let's try a second one. So over here, we have the first equation that has our slope of -2. Written as a fraction, as rise or run, it's going to be -2. I always put the negative sign on top. I like to do it that way. So -2 over 1 is the slope of the first one. The y-intercept, the b value of the first one, is -6. So go down, start with your y-intercept, which is b. Go down to -6. All right, that's your starting point. Then go up, so that's your rise, right? That's your rise over run. And we're going to go down, actually, because it's a negative rise. Okay, so go down 1, and you're going to run to the right. So down 2. It's -2 over +1. So you go down 2, and then to the right 1. And there's your second point. Now, remember how the slope is -2? So if we wanted to, we could have said it was 2 over -1. Either case, a negative divided by a positive is a negative, and a positive divided by a negative is a negative. So they're the same slope, you just would have to graph them differently, but you get to the same place. So if we decide to go this way, which I wouldn't recommend, I would recommend just doing it that way. But if you wanted to go this way, then you would go from here, from your y-intercept of -6, you'd go up 2, because it's +2, so you go up 2, then you would go over 1, right there. But because this is a horrible graph, because I'm doing it by hand, watch. If I did it with like a little drawing tool, you'd see better. A little line tool. Oops. both graphs are going to be on the same line. Okay, but you're only going to do 2 points. Just go with the first one, which is that one. Okay. For the next one, we have y equals 2x minus 2. All right, so for the next one, our y-intercept is -2. That's our b value. B is -2. And our slope, which is m, is +2, or 2 over 1, which is our rise over run. Okay, so our b value of -2, that's where we start, right here. This is the y-axis, so that's where it crosses. So that line is going to cross the y-axis like right through there somehow. Okay. Then you're going to go up 2 over 1, because that's our slope, right there. Positive over positive. All right, so up 2 over 1. There's our second point. And you graph that line. And where the two lines intersect is our solution. So over here, we'll do the green one first. So the green one, you can just do it right from the screen. So we have -6. Sorry, which one am I doing here? So y is equal to -2x. Yeah, it's the purple one actually. So you have -6. That's your starting point. All right, and our slope is -2 over 1. So that's down 2 over +1. That's our first one. Okay, for the green graph, which is y equals 2x minus 2, you start at -2, right there. And then you're going to go, slope's 2 over 1, so you're going to go up 2 over 1, right there. And our solution is where the two graphs intersect, which you can see it's different than my drawing here because I just completely eyeballed it over there. And let's just double check real quick because sometimes when you type these things in, like things get kind of messed up. So let's just see. We have, starting with the purple graph, we have -6. Then we're going to go down 2 over 1, check. Then we go with the green graph, start at -2, and then we're going to go up 2 over 1, check. And the point of intersection for this problem is where these two lines intersect, which will be -1, comma, -4. Remember, we're going to go from left to right, so -1 and then -4. And that's it.